Alright, looks like it finally decided to wake up. Yeah, there we go. Alright, welcome to another episode of Weaponized Autism. I am your host, Chris. No, your eyes don't deceive you. I got a haircut within the last week. The mullet is gone for the next 5 to 6 months. So, just got the, the curtain style, I guess. But hey, new playthrough up, and so that was fun to replay. That was fun to edit. And now comes the time where I gotta figure out what the hell I'm playing next. I've got a couple of ideas, but for now, we're not going to dwell on that. For right now, we've just got some good old-fashioned soup sandwiches to check in on. Over here on Weaponized Autism, we've got a loaded show for you tonight. We've got Andrew Kahn. We've got Multiversal Wisdom. Jason, if you're in the chat, you're going to love what he's got. We've got some fails. We've got some Atozi. We've got some Bubba with an update on Ben Princess Azuli. We've got some Charlie. We've got some Brandon Herrera. More Oh No It's Alex. And more Gara if we have time. So, let's begin. Hold on a sec. Let me make sure that's not a... Andrew. How you gonna do that to me? How you gonna not mute the music in this little cringy ass TikTok you found? It says, look at this tough guy. And I had to mute it because, according to the description, this video uses some music from Alice in Chains. So thanks for not muting that at all, Andrew. God dang. Anyways, my BF is a 6', 220 bodybuilder. Don't mess with him. Okay. So he's small and can't fight. Got it. Ooh. Bro, what is going on with your hair? Bro. What? I don't know what you're going for, but Sean Connery, you ain't. What is that tattoo? Alright.
Somebody has got to do a study on why every person that's bald and on top, while they're a werewolf from the collarbone down. Okay, Bubby, you need to shave that shit off your shoulders and put that on your head.
I think what's happening is the living example of that bit that Foxworthy used to have, where he goes, he talks about... Sorry, I gotta peel off my coffee here. Where Jeff Foxworthy used to have a bit about how he goes, men's hair isn't falling out, it's just going in and coming out other places. Like, once you reach a certain age, you pretty much have an evergreen forest growing out of your ears and growing out of your nostril. Or eyebrows. He goes, by the time men are 60, our eyebrows look like azalea bushes. Cut me, Mick, I can't see nothing, cut me. I think that's what's going on here. His hair the hair on top of his dome just started going in and coming out all over the rest of his body, making him look like a patchwork Chewbacca.
Okay. Don't mess with my boyfriend. He's 6'4" and 240 pounds. Bitch, 200 of it is hair. I run up on him with a wax strip. That boy's had it.
I just want to know.
Homie needs You need a weed whacker to shave his back. Holy shit. that guy goes, if he goes jogging in the morning through his neighborhood, some kid's gonna look out the window and go, "Look, Mommy, it's Sasquatch." So, oh no, ratchet ass hoe alert.
I just want to know if there's any men left in this great big wide world that actually want to sit on a couch with two single moms.
And we'll order you DoorDash, we'll eat, and then you can get in between us. How about that?
We could turn you into a single mom sandwich.
Come get it.
Hey man, every time I try to be good, something like this pops up on my timeline.
Single mom sandwich. I can see why. I'm not going to elaborate further.
Okay, y'all over here talking. That ain't even a sectional y'all are sitting on. That's a sectional 8 y'all are sitting on. And I don't know if y'all noticed in the editing of this video, old girl's left tot. It's done went to bed for the night. That thing over here laying on the couch. Okay, pick that thing back up, set it back on top of her.
She do got some saggy titties. When she walks, she's got to wear a bra, because if she doesn't, she's got to carry them like a watermelon delivery boy. Just, whew. Do your boobs hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you knock a man a knot? Can you tie a man a bow? I haven't heard that bit in a while. I don't remember how it all goes. Do your tits hang low?
What's going on here? Is one of the kids recording this video? Like, what is going on? I'd like to double this and send it to the next fella. Ain't nobody want to be on that sandwich. Ain't nobody want to be in that sandwich. There's mold on the bread. There's mold on the bread. The bread's out of date. It's rare. The bread rare. Throw it out. Throw the whole thing out.
Throw it all out. Yeah, there's a certain kind of yeast in it that you don't want. That you don't want to ingest. Ugh. Oh my lord.
When you discover a rare virus with the...
Alright, so, Kason, if you're hanging out in the chat, this is the video I saved up specially for you. Multiversal Wisdom. Batman investigates the T-Virus. Oh yes. Let's go.
When you discover a rare virus with the potential to reshape biology, to repair damaged tissue, to elevate human resilience beyond its current limits, the first conclusion should be obvious. Medicine, disease eradication, controlled evolution for the benefit of all. Yet Oswell E. Spencer looked at that same discovery and said, "What if we made weapons out of this?" And that is the part I find most perplexing. The progenitor virus was discovered in an ancient environment, tied to a rare plant with properties that defy conventional biology.
Okay. Hats off to whoever decided when they were recording this that they absolutely needed to get Chris in the Mad Max costume. That's beautiful. That's fucking cinema.
It is raw potential. Introduce it into a human host, and the result is simple. Death. Or aggressive mutation that produces something no longer human. From a scientific perspective, it is a foundation. From a strategic perspective, it is a liability. Umbrella chose to refine it into the T-Virus, a more stable derivative, though stability is a relative term here. They shifted focus from understanding life to controlling it, weaponizing it. It is a wasted direction, at least on the surface. But I understand the logic. The progenitor is unpredictable. To use it for medicine would require enormous funding, decades of controlled trials, and a tolerance for failure that most corporations do not have. Military applications are faster, more cost-effective, more profitable. Umbrella made the decision any cold, profit-driven entity would make. But that does not make it right. The T-virus has produced some of the most horrendous outcomes I have analyzed. I have categorized several of them to understand the pattern. The most numerous are the infected commonly referred to as zombies. They are slow, aggressive, and driven by instinct. Their strength is not individual capability. It is numbers and infection spread. In a survival scenario, avoidance is key. Extreme environments could help. Cold regions, high altitudes, places where biological activity slows. An outpost in a mountain range would reduce exposure, but not eliminate it. More concerning are the mutations that go beyond the baseline. Crimson heads are a secondary stage, a reactivation, faster and more aggressive.
It's a real shame that that we've only had Crimson Heads in one Resident Evil game. One. Maybe two if you want to count Umbrella Chronicles. I've always found the whole idea of the Crimson Heads really fascinating. That it's like, oh, you think you killed them. You think you've killed them, for sure. But then the game throws you a complete curveball because you didn't incinerate the body, so now they're up again, they're faster, and they're meaner. Fucking love that. That's one of the reasons I think the RE1 remake is the peak of the franchise. Sorry guys, I have a bit of a... My sinuses decided to start flaring up a couple days ago, and I'm still feeling the effects of it. Let me just put it this way. If I sounded half as bad today as I did yesterday, there would be no solo stream tonight. It would just be one stream. One stream. And it would be me and Kason talking about our movie tomorrow. But yeah, the Crimson Heads, I've always that's one of the things I loved about RE1 remake was that genius curveball that Capcom threw at you.
Still crude in behavior, but far more dangerous. Then there are lickers. A complete restructuring of the human body. Loss of sight, gain of heightened auditory tracking, mobility across walls and ceilings. Two different paths of mutation. It is as if evolution was forced to improvise under pressure, producing divergent results. Like a broken system trying to optimize itself. Recent intelligence suggests further evolution. The virus can remain dormant within a host for extended periods. Undetected. That alone changes containment protocols. Worse, some infected retain fragments of memory. They use tools. They mimic human behavior. This raises a question I do not like asking. Are they still people?
No. No, they are not. Even if you want to go by the trigger virus from Resident Evil Vendetta, no, they technically are not. Because that virus is still inside of them, and it could be triggered at any point in time. Like, unless you've got Elpis handy, which nobody knew about Elpis in 2017, it's only one way to deal with it.
If there is even a fraction of the original consciousness left, then every termination becomes morally complex. I do not have an answer yet. Then there are the hunters, engineered organisms designed for specific combat roles, speed, lethality, and precision.
Anybody else hoping that Zach Krieger actually uses the hunters in his Resident Evil movie coming out soon? Because I do. I'm a little tired of just the lickers being in the movies. I kind of want to see... I want to see the hunters come out, because those also, like... Lickers are cool. Lickers are terrifying. Lickers can be scary. Hunters are a fucking nightmare scenario, dude.
This indicates a shift from chaos to controlled bioengineering. And finally, the tyrants. The intended apex of the T-virus. Rare hosts that maintain structure, gain immense strength, and exhibit limited but functional intelligence. The T-002 appears to be one of the earliest successful model, a prototype that proved the concept could work. From that blueprint came more refined versions. One of them is known as Mr. X. Its objective is simple: track, hunt, eliminate. Its presence alone is psychological warfare. Based on visual data, I estimate a height exceeding 2 meters and a mass that would require reinforced skeletal density to support. Yet its movement suggests speed that contradicts that mass. Then there is Nemesis, a tyrant enhanced with a parasite that grants higher intelligence. It uses weapons. It adapts. It hunts with intent. It was the perfect predator. The trade-off is instability. Over time, it loses control, mutates further, becomes less precise. But in its optimal state, it is one of the most dangerous entities in that world. There is a recorded instance of one dodging a rocket at close range. Not from a distance, almost at point blank. That should not be possible.
Yet it is. That's actually one of the cooler things about that they added, that he is just that intelligent that he can just completely sidestep your RPG fire. Oh, he could. I don't think he could do that in the original, but he could do it in the remake, and that actually did. Contrast that with Mr. X from the RE2 remake, where he sees you with the rocket launcher and he just nopes out of the fucking room. No, what does Nemesis do? He sidesteps and he's just like, bitch, what? What? Fucking what?
Yet it happened. The progenitor lineage bends biological limits to the point where physics itself becomes questionable. Honestly, I do not understand how a corporation like Umbrella is still able to operate freely in that world. From everything I have analyzed, they violate at least one law from the Geneva Convention every week or so. Like a routine, like breakfast. If that level of activity goes unchecked, then either the regulations are weak, or the system meant to enforce them is compromised.
2 words, Bruce. The connections.
Either way, it is a failure of oversight on a global scale. And yet, despite all of that, there are individuals pushing back. One of them stands out. Leon S. Kennedy. On paper, he is a former police officer. That is the official record. But the field data does not match the profile. A simple cop does not survive repeated encounters with tyrants. These are entities capable of tearing a human body in half with their bare hands. The force required for that is concerning. It exceeds what most reinforced materials can withstand. And yet Leon takes hits from them and keeps moving.
Because he's just too damn stubborn to die. That's why. That is why he. That's why he can still keep going. Also, how are you gonna just completely bypass? Okay, maybe he does bring on. Oh, the chapter mark says Leon and Chris. What about? Man, what about Jill? Former Army? Special Forces training? We're just gonna ignore Jill. Man, Jill gets no respect at all, I swear.
Then there are moments where he was able to parry literal projectiles with an axe, rocket launchers, guns, and more. That is not normal. If I did not have access to deeper intelligence, I would reach a very different conclusion. I would assume Leon is not entirely human. What if he was a perfect tyrant variant? A new branch, a Leon lineage. The idea sounds absurd, until you compare his survivability and reaction time to known data points. He operates in the same space as enhanced organisms, but without visible mutation. That is what makes it unsettling. There is another individual I would place in a similar category. Chris Redfield. Any man who can punch a boulder and make it move is already outside standard human parameters. But his case feels different. Yeah,
it was about a half a decade worth of power injecting rhino steroids into his cock vein. That's pretty much what it was. That's how Chris was able to do that.
Less refined, more raw force than precision. It does not align with the same pattern. If I were bolder, I would consider a more extreme possibility, that Leon was exposed to the progenitor virus itself, the source, the real deal, and instead of dying, he adapted, perfectly, a compatible vessel, a stable host. The result would be a new generation of human, one that retains intelligence, gains resilience, and operates beyond natural limits without visible degradation. A controlled evolution.
Are you saying are you saying Leon's Wesker? Or the next variant of Wesker? It's an interesting theory.
But that line of thinking pushes beyond confirmed evidence. For now, I will settle on a simpler conclusion. Leon is tougher than the average man. Far tougher. This world presents a scenario I cannot ignore. A biological threat capable of collapsing civilization, violently and without warning. That makes it valuable as a warning. If something like this ever begins here, it will not be treated as an outbreak. It will be treated as a war, and we must be ready for it.
That would actually be terrifying. The T-virus... the T-virus in Gotham... Like, imagine that shit imagine the T-virus or the G-virus... or the C-virus getting into Bane's system. Like, you think him snapping Batman's back was bad. He would actually, Batman would be vapor. Whew. That would actually be scary. And you know, the Joker thrives on chaos. That's his whole shtick. He's an agent of chaos. The Joker on the G-virus... There would just be there would just be a crater and a sign posted in front of it that says Umbrella was here. Alright. So now we move on to our fails. And the reason I turned the volume down was just so we could enjoy them as they breeze past. Good job, dipshit. Whoa! Faceplant. And now you ain't got no hand. You're supposed to let go sooner than that. And now you got a concussion. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Ooh. That's all you can do. Oh. Oh, you dumb motherfucker. Good job. Well, you hit it. Oh, good job, you idiot. Uh-oh. Oh, too heavy for the stoppy. Oh no, not the hurdle. What is that run, dude? I didn't go on the ride because I didn't want to get drenched for the whole day. Oh! What in the hamster wheel hell? Yep. Yep. Because you can't just stop it.
Oh my god.
Ooh! Ah! Somebody didn't pass physics. Kason! Oh, Kason. Whew. Welcome to the stream. Sorry if I sound like I have gunk in my sinuses. It's only because I do. Because it's allergy season. Because fuck spring. But we've got the fails. We have got le fails. Yeah, oh. I fucking hate spring. Ah! Ooh. Road rash. That is road rash. If I did get any upload notifications from you today, I probably would have. I probably just scrolled past them and didn't even pay attention. Oh no! Oh, the cops! Oh.
Problem is, it burnt out because you've got a bunch of water in here inside the casing. And when you mix water and electricity...
Got all the village uploaded, made Chris's section its own video. Want to include detailed look at file connecting Miranda to Spencer. Hey! Hey, that's cool, man. Well, since I've got the RE2, since I posted the RE2 video this morning, I'm trying to figure out what my next one is going to be. I haven't decided yet if it's going to be 7 or if it's going to be something Mario related, since we have the Mario movie coming out next month. I'm kind of mulling it over. Oh my god. How did that even happen? Oh no. Just pick it up at that point. If it's wedged in like there, just pick it up. What the hell?
I want one.
Uh-oh. Pain in knee, in hand, sore inside mouth, but still laughing. Hey, you're better off than this dude. You're in a much better state than he is. Oh.
New year, new us.
Ah! There's no point, dude. I don't think that's how you bowl. Switch the mouthwash to open the sword. I think the sound it made if the neighbors think there was a rabies-ridden chimp upstairs. Ironic how I say that, and the guy in a gorilla mask pops up. Life is full of little ironies. Oof. What do you mean? Why am I driving? Good job.
Is that? Are you okay? Put on 325. You put on the broiler. There's no way this happened at 325. No. I'll tell you. Ask.
No, it was on.
Hold on. Babe. Ask Fred. 325. Did you tell me 325?
You guys wanted to do 350.
Right, so I turned the broiler on.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, because I'm gonna get your head on fire.
Oh. She's. Oh. She turned it on the. She put it on broil. She put it on. She turned on the oven. She didn't, but she set it to broil and not regular cook. Oh my God in heaven.
No.
Did you just break it?
Oh my gosh, I just broke it.
Put it back on. You can super glue it, baby.
Ooh. Hold up.
Boo.
She scared the fucking spider.
Boo.
That.
Madison said, "Are these marshmallows?" "They're candles, you big fat bitch."
Ow! Marty! Oh, no, that's nasty!
She is sitting back there. Emotional damage. Yeah, she's sitting back there like, did I do that?
Sorry.
Referring to the marshmallow candle, well, that too. Dude, like at that point, you've just got a problem. Also, I love this. Noogie. Yeah, at least it wasn't a wedgie.
1, 2, 6, 7. Oh, 7. Perfect. It's my room in Japan. Thanks so much. This is very sweet, you know. Oh. Spacious.
That was so scary. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, not a Michael.
I do. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Sorry. What do I do? What do I do? If I get it off of you, I'll try to, man.
Try to improvise. Oof.
Got in at 11:30.
Wipe out.
Oh, there's a cow.
Take the baby. Take the baby. Take the baby. Take the baby. Take the baby.
Yeah, because Dad's about to barf.
I need to get a grande ice white chocolate mocha
with caramel drizzle and cold foam.
with sweet cream cold foam and extra caramel drizzle.
And then add 2 back shots.
I am not.
Alright, what up?
That'd be it.
And then add 2 back shots.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Listen to how much our building's creaking.
Okay, I might actually have to turn it up for this one.
Know how much our building's creaking. Listen to how much our building's creaking.
That's just nasty. Whew. That is... That freaky! Oh!
Shirts that say cat. Save for
We can mess up in here.
So I go to turn the bath on. I've never seen anything like that. And I'm here alone, and that scared me so much. And of course, my head was here, and I'm getting like splashes of water. That is crazy.
Oof. Makes me think of a meme where a girl said her brother died And a guy offered support, and she said, I have a boyfriend. The guy said, I do. But the guy says, you know what it is? And you take hundreds of back shots and your brother couldn't survive one. Oh! Oh my God! Kason! Bro, relax!
Emotional damage! 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 Emotional damage!
Text conversation. That dog is like, I want every last scrap of peanut butter in this jar.
You okay? You need a hand?
Sky, do you love Mummy? Go say hi, Mummy? Oh, you gonna know it now.
Dog said no for real. He most definitely did. Ah, Gravity, thou art a heartless bitch.
I don't know.
So, you want to like press 1 here, right? Nope, that's 5. Or want to press the 5? Nope. Put in 10. Nope. 20 maybe? Nope. Clear. No. I really didn't know there's actually a 5 just here. There's a 5 just over here. There's also a 5 over here. And if you didn't know the 5's right here, that's a 5. And there's a 5 over here. There's a 5 over there. And there's a 5 over there.
Holy shit!
You get on the floor.
Bro! Bro! How big is your... Okay, that is a busted ass pump. That is a busted ass fucking pump. Which bottom of the bin? Because we've already done we've done several of them already. That. Wait, I missed it. Oh. Oh my God.
Penelope. I can't breathe.
I stayed up.
I really hate on it. What the heck?
Oh, thanks, Kelly. My brain's not exactly, It probably doesn't help that I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning, and I couldn't go back to sleep for the life of me. Dude, just rip it out. That's what she said. Literally. Nice one. Want to have it both ways.
Alexa, spell broccoli.
BROCCOLII. Why are you adding another I at the end of the word?
I'm not adding another I. Broccoli has just one I at the end.
But you just added another I.
I understand your confusion. Let me spell it one more time. Nice and slow. BROCCOLI.
Alexa, you're gaslighting me. You spelled it with 2 I's.
I can see why you're frustrated. I've been looking at our conversation history, and I can see that I spelled it correctly each time as BROCCOLI with just one I at the end. I wonder if there was a misunderstanding somewhere in our conversation.
No misunderstanding. No.
What specifically made you think there were 2 I's?
That bitch! That bitch! Beef looked at the screen like, dumbass. Oh, great! Now I'm underexposed in the lighting of the room. Hold on, let me the blinds up a little bit, just enough so I don't look like. Oh God! That's even worse. That is even worse. Fuck that, I'm just gonna use the... Fuck that, I'm just turning on the overhead light. Either I end up looking like Casper the Friendly Ghost, or I end up looking like or I'm just sitting in the dark like fucking Batman. If only we could turn AI into a humanoid entity. Yeah, if only.
Love you. I don't want to do it.
Okay.
It's biting my hair.
What?
It's pecking my hair.
You got double birds. You got
one on the back of me.
You've got two. Fly away.
Get this one off of me. There's one on my head.
There's 2 on your head. Okay, fly.
Hold on. Okay, so I was about to freak out.
About to?
Don't step on any birds.
It's on me.
Yeah, you got 2.
Right? Get this thing off of me. I'm done.
This TikToker destroyed his life threatening the feds for his prank content. I mean...
Oh! Yeah, fuck YouTube moderation. Oh, boy. TikToker facing 65 years in prison for his online threats, and it's Daniel Larson. Rat boy, yes! Life is a rat race!
This TikToker destroyed his life threatening the feds for his prank content. I mean, the dude is currently facing 65 years in prison if convicted on all charges. Currently, he's spent nearly 2 years stuck in a legal limbo because of all this, and now he's finally been ruled competent to stand trial. After nearly 2 years of delays, evaluations, transfers, nonstop confusion about what was even happening to him. A federal court has now ruled that Daniel Larson is fit for trial. But as I mentioned, up until now, this case has basically been stuck in limbo. Nothing could really move forward.
Good. Somebody help this boy, for real. Honestly, if he does go to prison, it'll be the best thing, it'll be the best possible thing that could ever happen for society. Because not only is the guy just, I mean, the guy is a menace. He's completely unstable. He is a walking detriment to society, and he's a predator. I don't know why so many predators linger on the internet. I mean, there's no xenomorphs for them to kill. Unless they see the internet as the perfect place to harvest more autism genes, which he certainly has.
While doctors in the court were trying to figure out one question: is he mentally fit to even face these charges? And now we have an answer, and a federal case is about to play out in court. And if things go badly for him, he could be looking at decades in prison.
I genuinely detest this idea that if they're mentally incapable of understanding the gravity of what they're being charged with, then we should let them roam free in public. It's like, no, that's even more of a reason to lock them up. Because if they don't know that they are a menace to society, then they're going to eventually get somebody hurt or killed, and it will be your fault for letting them, for creating the environment where that would happen. You fucking chiclet-brained homunculus. It's like, take your bleeding heart syndrome and shove it up your ass. Like, actually all the way up your ass.
65 years to be exact. Currently he's facing 7 federal charges, including threats involving explosives and a threat directed at a federal agent. But Daniel Larson is known for essentially being a TikTok lolcow. He'd go on these random rants, claim that he was running for president, talk about a music career that never really existed, and somehow built a following of hundreds of thousands of people just watching the chaos unfold.
I want to say I'm sorry for the threats. I'm sorry to...
Yeah, you think Chris Chan is fucked up. This guy genuinely makes Chris Chan look normal. How sad is that? The guy, when you are just that far gone that you make a grown man who assaulted his own mother look normal. The guy who did that.
To everyone at the White House for the threats, but I am serious. I don't feel safe, and I need protection. I need bodyguards. Nobody was understanding that. Nobody was helping. I wanted you guys to hear.
Daniel!
Why did you try to hit me? No! What? Get off me! Get off me!
He's one of those people that gained a following because people just simply couldn't look away. What started as weird internet content slowly turned into real-world incidents. And then those incidents turned into arrests. And then those arrests turned into federal charges. So how do you go from pulling a fire alarm inside of an Olive Garden to 7 federal charges? Well, Daniel Larson first showed up online around 2020, and right from the start, people had no idea what they were really looking at. His videos were awkward and honestly kind of unsettling. He'd stare into the camera, talk about random things, and then make big claims about his life, and none of it really added up. Very quickly, though, he built a following, and then the internet kind of turned him into this character. People started calling him Mr. President after he randomly announced that he was running for office in 2020.
They love Daniel Larson. Mr. President! Mr. President! Mr. President! Mr. President, thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your wisdom, Mr. President.
And others played into his belief that he was some kind of rising music star. And there were, entire groups of people pretending to be managers, record labels, or even celebrities, which everyone hyping him up online led to him posting videos like this, preparing for his concerts.
Yeah, that. I'm gonna go thrash that. Shoddy gonna suck this. Shoddy gonna suck this. Don't make me pull up. I'd smash that. Then pull out.
Dude. What? But
what in God's holy name are you blathering about? Bro, you have no sense of rhythm. Like, none. Like, actually, just stop. Like, God, I have first and secondhand cringe from that clip.
But he got banned on TikTok in 2021 for flashing the camera on live. But that didn't stop him from meeting up with other internet disasters.
New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York.
I think that might be one of the more cursed meetings of all time. But honestly, what happened with Daniel is what we've seen a lot.
I have no idea who that other guy was. I know who Daniel Larson is. I don't know who I don't know who the singer is. I don't know who the fuck that guy is. I don't know most people. I don't know most cringe lords on the internet.
Here in this channel. The more attention he got, the more chaotic his content became. You would have live streams where he'd rant for hours, strange storylines like the fog, and then multiple moments that got him banned multiple times, including one incident where he, went completely off the rails during a live. But while all of this was happening, there was also real concerns about his mental state and real-world situations starting to bleed into his online presence, because he wasn't just posting anymore. No, he was showing up in public places, getting into confrontations, and having repeated run-ins with the police. And by 2023, things were clearly escalating a whole lot, because now he's showing up to random cities, getting flown out by fans, meeting other internet personalities, and almost every single time it ends the same way. Complete chaos. Then a few months later, he's back in Colorado, and now it's turning into actual criminal charges. So, in July of 2023, he was arrested after an incident at Walmart where he apparently assaulted an employee. In September, he was arrested again, this time on a college campus for allegedly shoving a staff member.
He pushed one of our guys, struck me, tried to get him off the property, then came physically aggressive towards us, shoved one of our supervisors, my hands on, pushed him to the ground. That's fine, those for shift wounds. Then tried to punch me, then as we're walking him over here, trying to get him over to you guys, he donkey kicks back.
So, I mean, the guy is just physically attacking people left and right. And then by October, he's in court, getting hit with probation. So, at this point, it's already bad, but then December happens, and that's when things get really bad. Because Daniel goes live from inside of an Olive Garden, and what starts as, another one of his usual confusing rants quickly turns into a full-blown scene. He's convinced something is happening around him, thinks people are after him, and then out of nowhere, he pulls the fire alarm inside of a packed restaurant.
I am dating another celebrity. They're out in the parking lot. I have an FBI investigator. I work for the Secret Service. They are outside and apparently they're being straight up harassed by your employees. I'm performing a citizen's arrest. The FBI is outside. I have more than enough photos coming in.
Who are you arresting?
I'm arresting every single person here.
We've been very nice. That's what I'm gonna tell you. You're not coming to correct.
I am legally required to.
No, you can actually just leave now.
I don't have to leave.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So, to no one's surprise, he gets arrested again.
Good! He should have stayed arrested. Should have stayed arrested the first time. Let alone the second time. At least he's actually stayed arrested for the last... Since his last big blowout. What a fucking maroon. I'm arresting everybody in here? Bro. Your IQ is brown.
And then at this point, it's not just random incidents anymore. It's looking like a pattern. Because while all of this public chaos is happening, there's something else going on behind the scenes that most people didn't fully understand at the time. Because throughout 2023, Daniel had allegedly been making a series of threats. And I do mean actual threats, not just trolling. Specifically, according to federal filings, Daniel had threatened to use an explosive device at a courthouse, a university campus, and even the White House, along with a separate threat directed at an FBI agent. And I guess none of that really hit the mainstream until 2024. But in early 2024, everything catches up to him all at once. And this time, it's not local police. No, it's the feds. So on April 25th, 2024, a federal indictment is filed in Colorado. And just a few days later, on April 30th, Daniel Larson is taken into custody. And at first, people online didn't really understand what was going on. Some think it's just another probation issue, another local arrest. But according to court filings, Daniel is charged with 7 federal counts, all tied to threat communications. 6 of those counts fall under laws involving the use of a threatened use of an explosive material, and the 7th involves an interstate threat to injure a federal agent. And because these threats...
I may or may not have roasted that video a while back when I did a riff on... when I did a riff on one of his public meltdowns. And as Kaysen provided in the chat, it was literally entitled, "Somebody Help This Boy!" Dude is a walking case. That's the nicest way I can put it. He has been a walking case for literal years.
Cross state lines and involve federal entities, that's what brings in the federal authorities. And if he was going to be convicted on all these counts, he could be facing up to 65 years in prison. And that's why, almost immediately after his arrest, the court makes another big decision. Because on May 10th, 2024, the judge issues an order of detention, which basically means he's not going home. He's going to remain in federal custody while this case plays out. And from that point on, Daniel Larson...
Not going home? What home? He has no home. He's homeless. He basically goes from halfway house to halfway house, from shelter to shelter. The guy has no permanent residence, has no place to regularly lay his head down when he goes to sleep at night. The guy is a fucking transient.
Disappears from the internet. This was literally the last TikTok he posted.
Alrighty. So I just made it into Boulder, Colorado for probation. I am running about 38 minutes late currently.
Okay, but for a while there, the case didn't move forward. And the reason is, it comes down to one question. Is Daniel Larson even mentally fit to stand trial? Well, in May of 2024, not long after his arrest, both sides request a psychological evaluation, and the court agrees. I do also want to point out that when a court is deciding if someone is fit to stand trial, they're not normally asking, does he act normal? It's more kind of like, does he understand the charges, and can he assist his own defense?
You know, I'm kind of in the Ron White camp of if he don't know the difference and it makes me feel better, what the hell are we even arguing about? Just hold him. Preferably indefinitely.
So the fact that Daniel is a lolcow and, is an overall odd guy doesn't mean that he doesn't understand the charges. Over the next year, though, he's transferred between multiple facilities, including federal prisons and medical centers, because this isn't just a jail anymore. It's part detention, part psychiatric evaluation. At one point, he's in Colorado, then he gets moved, and then moved again. But eventually, he ends up in a federal medical center in Springfield, Missouri, where these evaluations are actually carried out. And the results are not good for moving the case forward. Multiple evaluations reportedly find that he's not competent to stand trial, which means instead of going to court, he's sent to what's called competency restoration. Basically, the system tries to get him to a point where he can't stand trial. And this is why the case drags on for so long. Because at one point in 2025, there's finally a hearing to figure out what's next. And even then, the judge orders yet another evaluation. So from the outside, people are watching this thinking, is he in jail? Is he in the hospital? Did he get released? What's going on here? And the answer is kind of all of above, depending on when you look. Because he's in federal custody the entire time, but bouncing between detention and medical evaluation. But then, in 2026, something finally changes. In March, after all the delays, all the evaluations, and all of the back and forth, the court finally gets an answer. Daniel Larson is found competent to stand trial. And just like that, everything that's been stuck for nearly 2 years starts moving again. Because now, for the...
And that's nearly 2 years that he's been off the street ideally speaking, incapable of harming anyone apart from himself. So that is very much a bonus. And I hope he gets incarcerated. And I hope he gets the 65 years. Because he's a fucking predator.
The first time since his arrest, this case can actually go forward, and all the charges didn't go anywhere. He's still facing 7 federal counts tied to alleged threat communications, including threats involving explosives and a federal agent. So from here, a few things can happen. He could take a plea deal, fight the charges at trial.
Ian Watkins treatment? Ooh, Kaysen. I mean, I wouldn't object to it, but...
Or go through the full court process, which could take months. But one way or another, this is no longer a stalled case. This is an active federal prosecution that is about to play out in real time. First, both sides have to file their pretrial motions by March 20th. And that's where the defense and the prosecutors argue about what evidence comes in, what gets excluded, and any legal issues before the trial even begins. Then responses to those motions are due by April 3rd. And if there's anything major that needs to be argued in person, like evidence disputes, they can request a hearing right after that. But here is, I guess, the big moment, because on April 9th, 2026, there's a trial preparation conference. And this date's really important because it can also turn into a change of plea hearing, meaning this is one of the last chances for this case to not go to trial. So essentially, if a plea deal is going to happen, this
streamer who deleted his girlfriend and used a pre-recorded stream as an alibi was recently sent it? Wait, what? What? Hold up. Homeboy offed his girlfriend and used a pre-recorded stream as an alibi. Have we covered that? Charlie did a video. Okay, I might have gotten a notification for something like that, but I don't think I watched it. What? What? Holy shit, bro. How are you that dense?
Exposed.
Bro! The video from got the news from a YouTuber posting about it. Savix. Jesus! Like, dude! Apparently his IQ is brown, too. Holy shit, what a moron.
This is likely where it's going to happen. But if it doesn't, then we already know what's next, because the court has officially scheduled a 5-day jury trial starting on April 20th. And there, he's going to have to fight all 7 counts. The first one was allegedly threatening to use an explosive on a courthouse in Colorado. The second one was the same, but a nonprofit center in Lakewood, Colorado.
Might serve life in prison? I hope he does. Fuck him.
And the third one was for the White House. And then the fourth one was a state government building in Colorado. And
yeah, as it turns out, you can't just threaten to you can't just threaten to blow up the White House or federal government buildings, unless you're Madonna. Yeah, it turns out you actually cannot do that. That's actually not covered by the First Amendment. Shocker to anybody with an IQ, to anybody who does not have an IQ north of 40. But Daniel Larson has an IQ of 20, so of course he remains blissfully unaware of the fact that no, you cannot just threaten to use explosives on government buildings, you troglodyte. Are we not going to talk about how it's on 420? Ooh. That's, I mean, damn, I didn't even catch that.
And then the fifth one was a college campus in Colorado. And then the 6th count is for threatening the FBI agent. And then the 7th count is threatening to destroy the FBI headquarters with an explosive device yet again. So 6 of these are for threatening explosive devices, and one of them is for threatening an FBI agent. Obviously, from seeing his content, I don't think he's playing with a full deck of cards, but he was found fit for trial. So jury selection happens in the same morning, and from there on out, that's when it starts. And of course, I'll be keeping an eye on this moving forward, but the gist of this is after years of being in limbo, we'll know by next month if this is actually going to go to trial or not. But if this does go to trial and this video gets like 40,000 likes, I'll fly out and go cover it for you guys. But other than that, if you guys are new here, feel free to subscribe to stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be like drop tomorrow or something like that. Peace.
Last time. Alrighty. Definitely a troglodyte. Alright. We once again now transition over to the Alpha Male Universe, the AMU, for an update on Princess Azuli. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Last time on the Alpha Male Universe.
50 billion views since I got online. So, here's the fucking deal. I don't care about all you broke boys, but put together $250,000 to fight me, because obviously I'll get paid, and that money is going to go directly to feeding kids.
No, it won't. He'll take the money and run. He's just going to take the money and run. Anybody who's stupid enough to pony up that dough under the promise of fighting you, Ben, deserves to lose $250,000.
I'll be waiting in the DMs. I'm only 35 years old, but most 35-year-old men don't have hair on their head. I have a full set of hair. I'm absolutely gorgeous, buff, and yes, I'm probably deep.
You might be buff above the waist because you power inject steroids into your biceps to make it look like you to make it appear as if you are stronger than you actually are. But you've got fucking chicken hawk legs. Your legs are about to sue your lower body is about to sue your upper body for bowel support. You're so disproportional. I don't know if you did, Kason, or not. I just know that we jumped over from one troglodyte to another.
The best fighter in the world. And if there is a fighter who could maybe get in the ring with me and win, that would be somebody like John Jones.
Welcome back to the Alpha Male Universe. Now, Bubba Army, be sure to report for duty and smash that fucking like button because we have another Princess Azuli video. Now, a lot of people have been talking about Wes Watson, including myself, and considering the whole DV situation, I'm not surprised that everyone is talking about it. And I've actually gotten some comments that go along the lines of, hey, this channel is cooked, the AMU is cooked now that Wes Watson's going to prison, there's no one to talk about. That couldn't be farther from the truth.
Are you sure about that? One alpha male goes down, you think the entire AMU falls apart? No. Absolutely not. They're both troglodytes, is what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, that is true. That is very true. Wes Watson is just one guy. The AMU is an entire spectrum. It's not too far off from another spectrum. In fact, many of the prominent figureheads that are regularly featured in commentary videos on the AMU most likely are on the spectrum to one degree or another, if you know what I'm saying. After was my mother, so I was a male switch saying, nope, it's my stepdad. Dude, if your stepdad is Ben Azuli, then you're cooked.
There are a ton of horrible people that
not because he's a badass guy, but it's because you have to forever be associated with Ben Azuli.
That still need to be slam dunked, roasted, and gadooshed. And probably now the biggest target is Princess Azuli. He's actually made his situation worse because he uploaded a new video called Am I a PDF? I mean, are you kidding me? This is wild. This is probably like the 8th video now that he's addressing the quote allegations. They're not allegations. It was a conviction. So I don't know what he's trying to disprove. This video is going to have it all. It's going to be wild. And let's continue on with the AMU and get this show on the fucking road.
Look, Ben, I understand that you think everybody's retarded. I understand that you think you have a 4-digit IQ and you're the smartest man on the planet and you're better than everybody and you're all this and that. You are horrible at interneting. Just get off the internet forever. It would actually be beneficial to you as a person if you got off the internet completely. If DC casts him as Aquaman, I will self-delete. Oh, oof. Well, DC under James Gunn is cooked anyway, so.
I want to address something, and I'm going to address it very...
You've addressed it 8 times already. Fuck you, Ben.
Quick, I'm going to get straight to the point. I have a lot of followers worldwide.
At least 90% of them are bot accounts that you paid for. Oh.
They count on me. You guys believe in me. You trust me. You love what it is that I'm doing. You see that I'm not here.
The people who make content on you, the people who do follow you, they love the ad revenue that making fun of you brings them.
Trying to sell you shit. You see that I'm not here telling you to do anything bad. I tell you to stay away from bad things, negative people, become stoic, become strong, get in the gym, get fit, get married to one woman, actually become...
Pervasively duck accountability for your own criminal past.
A man, be a good provider, open a business. I only tell you guys to do the best of the best.
Alright, so the princess is starting off dumb. Basically, he's trying to say that because he spends 30 seconds out of his day doing some kung fu and giving some advice that ChatGPT could give you, you should just look past all of his flaws. You should look past everything he's done, everything he's lied about, because guess what? He is the Buddha, he's the Jesus, he is the Gandhi of Instagram. It's like the dumbest fucking thing I've ever had to listen to. Just like right off the bat, I'm already annoyed. And this video is 15 minutes. There's no way I even have the tolerance enough to stomach listening to Azule try to gaslight, manipulate, and trick people as to why he has a S conviction on his public record. Oh my god, starting off wrong already, princess.
I only tell you guys to do the best of the best. And I teach you guys what I was not able to learn from anybody.
You only duck accountability and deflect from your own past. You only gaslight people who actually have looked up who you are and what you were convicted of. You only LARP as a lifestyle coach, because I seriously doubt you're making any fucking money off of it. You only exist to waste oxygen.
I did it all on my own. So even if you're coming onto my page and you don't like me, just know I'm here to make the world a better place. I'm not here to make the world a worse place. I'm not doing anything to harm you.
Bullshit. Exactly, Kason. His lifestyle is bullshit. It's a fucking image. It's a false image. Like all these other alpha male lifestyle coaches. Stop staring into the camera like that, Ben. Like you're trying to, like you're trying to hypnotize me, or you're trying to seduce me. Like any minute now, you're gonna have your fucking spoon hovering around the rim of a mug, and then you're just gonna tap it and be like, sink. And then next thing I know, I'm in fucking, my brain's in fucking hypno water world. Tired of these Tate clones. Me too, man. My God. They all operate from the same playbook. You could do a supercut of all these guys hawking their bullshit programs, you would think it's the same guy. You would think they're all a part of the same group.
I don't say anything to actually harm anybody. I don't put down anybody, not for their looks.
You aggressively lie about being convicted of a crime you committed that you pled guilty to. You aggressively lied about the victim that you and your brother assaulted. You aggressively deflect and deflect and deflect. And you aggressively waste precious resources every time you open your mouth. Fuck you, Ben.
Not for their religion, not for any of that. I shared my life story.
No, you didn't.
And for the people that look at me and say,
no, you shared a manufactured, you shared a fan fiction of yourself that you wrote to make yourself seem more of a badass than you actually are. You're that guy who oh my fuck, this guy's just like Steven Seagal. He was that guy who got picked on in school, and now he's overcompensating it by creating this persona in his mind where he's a badass and he's bigger than everybody else. And now you're trying to convey this false humility, but it's like you already built your brand off being the most abrasive dickhead on the internet. So this babyface heel turn comes across as manufactured. Nobody buys it unless they're like the bot accounts in India that keep you in monetization range. You dishonest cuck.
why does he have this kind of a life story? I don't like him for that. I gotta tell you, you're not gonna get ahead in life.
So let me get this straight. If you don't believe any of the bullshit Azuli has said, then you're not going to get far in life because you're a hater. I feel like the princess wants to be in that #1 spot in the AMU. Now that Wes Watson is going to prison and he's going to be there for a very long time, there's been a huge power dynamic change in the AMU. I personally think the princess can see that, and he's probably trying to position himself to be more of a provocative character, because as you can see right there, someone asked him about this detail that apparently later on in the video is not going to match up with what he said in the past, and he literally said that he just joked and lied and even gassed up the things that he said about his S-crime case against a 15-year-old. That guy's fucking out of...
I thought you said you did nothing with H but admitted to a BJ just because they were trying to teach you a lesson. Do you think we just forget everything you say? Ben says, I said things to inflate and upset people so more people would speak about me. Since everyone stopped talking about it, I figured it's time to tell you guys the truth and move on. You're a liar, queen. Shh. He's not even a queen. He's I think court jester is above Ben Azuli.
His mind for doing that, for rage baiting and trolling people. Oh my god, bro. I don't know how I'm gonna do any longer of this video.
I gotta tell you, you're not gonna get ahead in life. And I'm talking to you directly. You're not. And I'm sure that if me and you were sitting down in the same room, in the same table, I guarantee you, you would know that I want only the best for you. You wouldn't think for a second that I want anything bad for you.
You want our money. You want every last cent from our wallets is what you want. But you're not getting it.
And that's why now I'm going to make more long forms so you can get more of a feel for who I am and why I'm even here.
You've made it pretty clear who you are: a liar, a thief, and a sexual assaulter.
I'm a good guy and you guys know it.
Bullshit.
I don't need to be here. I've made it in life.
I don't need to be here. First honest thing you have ever said in your miserable, insignificant existence on the internet.
I've made it and you guys know that. I don't even have to say what I have. I've really made it. Now I'm trying to somehow help you make it as well. So you can either accept it or just let it go. But coming onto my page to waste your time I don't know what to tell you. I've never...
I don't come to your page to waste my time because I don't want to reward you with the clicks and the ad revenue that comes from my click. I will just watch you secondhand through Bubba or John Bravo, so I can watch you get roasted like the bitch you are.
Never been that kind of a person.
I mentioned this in the past before. Azuli wants to say that he's like a billionaire or whatever, that he's not doing any of this for the money. Then why would you charge for your programs? Like, that doesn't make any sense. If someone...
Why would you... It's not about the money, but you charge for your program.
Exposed, 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 you are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going exposed. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
You are horrible at this, Ben. Just get off the internet. Just delete your entire internet presence.
Made a bunch of videos and they gave people advice and all of it was free. I am not going to be making a video about them unless they're like a deplorable human being, right? Because what am I doing, honestly? Like roasting someone who's giving free advice. When you monetize it, it starts adding a different dynamic. Now, is there somebody out there who has a coaching program that charges money, gives advice, and is a solid human being? Probably, right? I mean, there's billions of people on this planet, but time and time again, I have shown people, whenever you have these variables, charging for a program, giving advice, life coach, they're usually an alfalfa shitbag.
Yeah, usually you are how they get rich. So they're teaching you how to get rich while getting rich off of you. You are what makes them wealthy. Anybody who buys into these courses deserves to get suckered.
I don't know what to tell you. I've never been that kind of a person. It's better you go read a book than come to my page to hate. And if you're
I actually agree with that. Because why anybody would unironically go to your page, why anyone would go to your page outside of to get clips on so they can riff on you. If they're going to your page just to leave shit comments, I actually think that's a waste of time. I would not give you the time of day. The only reason I ever give you the time of day, Ben, is because other people clip you and then roast you, and I join in on it. Because you are so fucking pathetic that you don't even deserve me making a proper roasting video on my own. That is how low you are to me. You actual cunt.
somebody that loves me and trusts me, I'm going to be here. I'm not going anywhere. I want to see you guys win.
And you'll keep getting roasted.
So about less than a year ago, about 8 months ago, someone came out with a video saying something about me. Said that I was some...
You are.
Now, what he said was he read the civil lawsuit that the parents of the girl had against me, my family, her best friend, which was a girl, and her family, some of the other guys that were there, and their families. They were asking for $51 million. Now, I want you to...
Ben, enough channels have already documented the fact that you're lying about this. Why you are still hell-bent on pushing this narrative when it's already been debunked 1,000 times over from 100 different channels? It's like, do you genuinely believe that we have the memory of a goldfish? We know you're lying. We know that you're talking out of your ass. We know they were not reading from a civil court case. And we know the civil case did not come until after you were convicted for your criminal charges.
Think logically. If you were a parent, would you really go for a $51 million lawsuit? Or would you want justice for your daughter?
If I was a parent, if I was that girl's parents, you wouldn't be here on the internet. Because you never would have seen the inside of the courtroom. And if I get arrested for it, I'm wearing the biggest shit-eating grin on my face for the fucking mugshot.
You would probably want justice for your daughter. The only reason you would want to go for a $51 million lawsuit is because you just wanted the money and you know nothing was there. It was all a made-up story by them. The real story is this. Because some people say online that I'm pedophile, sex offender,
you are.
child molester.
You are. You are.
If I was any of these things, I would have been on the sex offender list. And honestly, if I was any of these things, I'd probably my own life. But I pulled it up for you. Here it is. I'm not on the sex offender list. And it's because I'm not any of these things.
Now, Azule has it done.
That doesn't prove anything because scumbags slip through the cracks every single day. The fact that you're not on the registry, frankly, I think is a fucking travesty. Which, I don't understand why you're not on the registry. You should have been forced to register as that for life. Ideally speaking, you should have seen the inside of a prison cell for the rest of your life for doing what you did.
Done this defense before. If you look back at my AMU catalog of the videos I've done with him, specifically whenever he makes up a new allegation addressal video, he will use this defense saying, oh, I'm not on a list. And he's probably made like 5 to 8 of these videos, but every single time it's always the same response by people. They don't buy his bullshit, they don't care what he says, and then he throws a huge fit and deletes the video, waits a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and then makes a new one. That is basically the cycle of Azule, right? And he always says this, I'm not on a list, I'm not on a list. And it's because the state of California, specifically the county of LA, failed the victim. He doesn't have to be on a list because his type of crime in that state is considered a misdemeanor, even though it's an S crime conviction against a minor. I don't know how that makes any fucking sense in that state, but it just blows my mind.
Because it's California, nothing makes sense in California. That's why he's not on the registry. Because it's a state run, because it's run by retards, and it always has been.
And so he basically uses that to get around the fact that he is a monstrous human being. He's a monstrous human being that was not mandated to be on a list because of a legal loophole.
And these other
hashtag fuck California
influencers that have made these videos about me,
hashtag give California back to Mexico.
They stopped because they know it wasn't real. But they inflated a lot of things for the main reason of actually getting more and more views.
The only inflated thing surrounding you is your fucking subscriber count, you disingenuous hack.
And it worked. But it also worked for me. I personally paid some big influencers, I don't want to say their name, but some big influencers to go and make videos about me. And I didn't care what videos. I just wanted my name out there.
Are you about to try to claim that you paid John Bravo and Bubba and other commentators in the AMU to get your name out there? Are you seriously about to say that? You are, aren't you? So, we can add this to the... Bro, this man has told so many lies. It's a wonder his nose hasn't grown out to the extent where it's cracking the fucking windshield of his car.
And the more videos that came out, the more people spoke about me, the more I was known all around the world. Now I speak at schools, now I speak at organizations, I do seminars, and all of that, and I do it for free, out of the kindness of my heart, wanting to actually help the youth.
Azuli's basically just trying to engage in a war of disinformation. When you cannot attack the facts, you must attack the person who is making the video or making whatever about someone, right? He wants to discredit all of these content creators, including myself, who have made videos on him by suggesting that he has paid all of us off. That is a new lore update with this bullshit. This is a new excuse. He hasn't said this one before. I guess he was saying that, oh, I'm paying everyone off to talk about me. How does that even make sense? Let me just explain.
That is, somehow that is, oh, I was only trolling, but even more retarded.
To you, because you have common sense if you're watching this video, okay? How does it make any sense that when you get exposed for an S crime, you decide to run with the story and promote it? What is going on? Like, who even would believe that bullshit? I mean, this is the dumbest of the dumb things I have ever heard.
So, this is a very strong marketing way. I was all for it. But some people are still taking it serious. It's not serious. You can go look it up. Here you go. If you could find me one document that says that I was convicted of, I'll give you $100,000. There is no document that says that I was convicted of, and there's no document at all of any of this. What there is a civil lawsuit that they came in, lied about it. Their daughter said, I don't want anything to do with it.
You have never presented this. You never show this. You only ever say it and give us a trust me bro, which, when people have shown actual documentation of your trial, of your court hearings, a trust me bro is not going to fly. A trust me bro shouldn't fly with that kind of an allegation anyway. God. Ben, if I ever did what you did, number one, I could not live with myself, but number two, even if I could, I would scrub my entire presence off the internet. All my socials, everything, just gone. Because eventually that shit would surface. And I would get, justifiably, shit-hammered for it. And, in my opinion, that is something, if you are guilty of something like that, you should not be on the internet. You should not be famous. You should be forever ostracized from participating in society. I don't care if you regret it or not. I have no sympathy for you. If you want to go looking for sympathy, crack open a dictionary and flip it to anywhere between shit and syphilis.
I don't want anything to do with it. Me and her don't actually have an issue. We never had an issue, me and her.
So now he's also trying to claim that the victim and him are best friends, which is not true, because in the previous videos, which are now deleted, he demands an apology from her. He even said that he found her address, he found her social media, and demanded that she apologize to the world for quote-unquote slandering his name and quote ruining his reputation. That's a bunch of bullshit, honestly. Azuli is just really trying to gaslight people. He hopes that there are those who have forgotten that the internet just somehow forgot, but whenever you put anything online, it is written in stone, it's written in rock. But now he is saying that they are best friends.
The internet never forgets, Ben. It doesn't matter how long you wait. It doesn't matter how many times you try to clear the air. The internet, once people find out the truth, the internet never forgets. And it never lets you hear the end of it. And deservedly so.
That they are good and there's no issue. This, dude, I cannot do it anymore, bro. I'm starting to lose the brain cells.
All it was is that she went down on me and a few more girls went down on me on the night of my birthday. That was it. When the police arrived at my house, because her parents found out that she was out, when the police arrived at my house, I told them the truth. I said, I got some from each girl. This girl went down on me, the other girl went down on me. It was my birthday. They offered. I accepted. I didn't know that she was underage. And imagine, I just turned 18. Still a child, a teenager. So when I went to court, they gave me exactly the charge that is a girl that is under the age of 18 went down on me.
Mini Lad, Cyrax, EDP, no matter how many times he's tried to come back, the internet will never let him have any lasting, meaningful comeback. Onision is pretty much just his existence is just DOA. Bentelect, not a pred, but a freak. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, once that shit surfaces, or Amber Heard, her career is completely DOA because of that whole trial. Technically it was, but at least he wasn't going after minors. Yeah, I don't think Amber Heard's going to be able to come back from intentionally shitting on Johnny Depp's bed. Like, you will forever be unattractive because of that. And it's a shame because she's not that bad of an actress. It's just, she's an absolute fucking psychopath. No, Kason, they did not pop up twice for me. Yeah, like, the thing is, Amber Heard is not that bad of an actress. She's just fucking... She's got some serious mental problems that she needs to get a handle on. But instead of getting a handle on that, she instead would rather just go through a fucking media circus that has effectively killed her career. I don't feel bad for her. Just saying.
And that's because I admitted it. The problem was...
You think she's shit? There are substantially worse actresses out there. Tara Reid. There are substantially worse actresses out there. I don't think she's... Pun intended. Well, I mean, that goes without saying.
...is that I said, that's not fair, I didn't know their age. They said, because you didn't know her age doesn't take you away from a crime.
That's true. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Now, it's not really a crime if you think about it.
No, it is.
But unfortunately, here in the state of California, it is because you have...
Let me ask this question to the audience. If it was just a simple misunderstanding, then how did it involve his brother? Now, a lot of people don't talk about the fact that Azule's brother was also involved with this crime, and then a friend... Well, actually, I'll correct myself. I think there are a decent amount of people who talk about the fact that there are more parties involved with the brutal crime, but Azule is trying to make it seem like it was just him and the victim, and then some other people. But in the criminal case, there's no mention of other women. It's only one, and then his friend and his brother.
I don't have any Western friends queued up for the stream tonight, Kason.
But he just leaves that out. He just leaves that out, and then even suggests to the audience that he's still the same monster. He's basically saying, I don't understand the age of consent. Oh, the age of consent in this state is dumb. I don't even want to listen to it. So he's basically just confirming that nothing has ever changed within his own mind. So I basically hit my limit for Azule. I'm just going to keep it real. After listening to him for like 7 to 8 minutes, I just don't want to do it anymore. I just make these videos out of passion to expose these lames and nothing more. So that's it. I'm going to make a part 2 for another day whenever I get the chance. I've been really busy with my IRL career, and honestly, I'll segue into this. Basically, some people have commented saying they're concerned that a change in the energy in my voice, a change in how I present the videos. But guys, I'm all good. I'm just extremely exhausted from my job, and when I sometimes make a video, I'm extremely fatigued. I really just want to get it out there so people can watch it, get the truth out there, but I'll be in a really fatigued state, and I can't fake this bullshit. I'm never going to fake anything online. I'm always going to keep it authentic. So sometimes you get a wild, crazy, emotional, super upbeat, high energy commentary, and then sometimes you're like, hey guys, welcome back to the AMU. And it's not that I'm going through anything, I'm just working. Okay, so hopefully you understand. Please be sure to smash that like button.
I know exactly how that feels. So I woke up just out of the clear blue at 2 o'clock in the morning this morning. Dog, you're about to go to Electric Avenue and I'll take the voltage higher. Okay. That's one of the funniest accidental text-to-speech messages I've ever seen. Oh. But, as I was saying, I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I could not go back to sleep for the life of me. Normally, I set my alarm for 4, so that I have a couple hours to get myself situated before I start getting ready for work. 2 a.m., I'm up, and no matter what, I can't go back to sleep. So I start uploading the Resident Evil 2 video, which is now live, which is now up on the channel. You can go check that out if you want to. When I got home, after I walked my dog, threw my dinner in the oven, I pretty much had to take a 20-minute power nap and down an iced coffee just to be able to sort of coherently get through this stream. Uh-oh. Oh. Sorry about that, chat. I was making a rearrangement in the timeline for what we were going to have on the stream, and guess I just kind of screwed that up. But anyway, so yeah, I maybe have enough juice in me for one more video, and then I'm going to cap the stream off there. An asshole, but I'm not. Hassan. Yeah, never be like Hassan. Not just the way you treat your pets, but just in general. Never be like Hassan.
Swing on by the Discord, and I'll see you in a future AMU episode. Until later, guys. Peace.
Did you go outside today?
Yes, but only so that I could go to work, and then again so I could walk my dog. All right, so this is gonna be the cap off video for the stream. I was talking big. I could never intentionally press the shock button. Yeah, nor should you really. So, since Bubba was referring to another prominent AMU character, Wes Watson, here's Charlie bringing us an update on Mr. Wes Watson, who is going to jail. Beep and vibrate do the job. Good. That's good. Who has already done several years in prison in the past, and that's pretty much part of his brand is, I went to prison, I was a shot caller, and I was all this, and I was big and bad, and I ran the cell block, and it's like, bitch, that just means you got caught. That just means you fucked around until you got caught. Well, apparently Wes is going back to prison. And if you follow the AMU, you may have already known that he already had a pending trial for an aggravated assault and battery that he and a couple of his butt buddies committed against a guy at the gym. Well, there's been a new development into that. And I've seen Legal Mindset's video on it. And I've seen John Bravo's video on it. It's some fucked up shit.
Did you notice that the air maybe felt a little bit better? Maybe energized you a little bit more? It just felt a little lighter. Well, that's because Wes Watson, the gadoosh god, is no longer breathing any of that free air, and it's looking like this might be curtains for his time outside of a prison cell. Because boy, howdy, I gotta tell you, this guy is addicted to criminal charges. He collects them like Pokemon cards. It's a pathetic existence, and
he's probably addicted to dropping the soap, too.
I don't want to just regurgitate the lore, because I've covered Wes Watson a lot on this channel, but he is one of the more entertainingly pathetic alpha male gurus out there, and now Wesley's facing even more charges on top of the previous charges from the assault case a few months back that I covered, and it looks like he's going to be going home. It looks like he's going to be going back to hooping that paperwork. If you don't know the breakdown, Wes Watson is actually a mutant. He is an X-Men. He studied at Charles Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. His
different kind of gifted
mutation is his asshole's ability to stretch to unnatural lengths. He used to preach about just how adept he was at sticking papers up his butt. Even told a compelling, riveting story about how the other inmates didn't even recognize him by his face, but only by his asshole, because he was always showing off his chocolate starfish, apparently. Honestly, no one's happier about Wes Watson going to jail than Wes Watson.
In the immortal words of Willem Dafoe,
what a fag. Yeah. I bet he's got the biggest smile on his face right now, sitting behind bars, fingers crossed, praying that he gets life, so that way he can return to paradise here. And honestly, that's the best for everyone. That's where he belongs, and the rest of society is safest with him there, and I bet he will be much happier. They did him a nice kindness here. They listed him at 6 feet. He's not 6 feet.
No, if anything, he's more my height, and I'm 5'8". And he gets really, really sensitive, like hypersensitive when you say he's 5'8". I don't know why. I don't know why he's so insecure about that. Chuck Norris, God rest his soul, was 5'6". I just think of the AI jump scare when I look at Charlie. Oh, that was an interesting one. But yeah, Chuck Norris was 5'6". So what? Yeah, that's right, Kason. You and me both. We were both taller than Chuck Norris. It's like, I'm 5'8". There's nothing wrong with being 5'8".
The top comment kind of goes crazy. He accepted the full sentence in exchange for being listed at 6 feet. I think he just missed prison, because he is currently still out on bond, I'm pretty sure. So he picked up these 5 additional charges, assuming all of this is true. I still need to watch this video covering it, while on bond for other charges. This guy actually just wants to go home. He said, I don't like it out of jail. It's scary. People are mean to me. Doesn't he have a micro? Yeah, they call him Shrimp Dick.
Whoa. I mean, if he's injecting steroids the same way all these alpha male grifters are injecting steroids, it shouldn't shock me.
In one of those videos he made with his ex-girlfriend, she was like going upstairs naked and he was naked following her, but the goober fucking had his camera pointed at the glass on the stairs so you could see his wiener and it barely peeked over his ballsack.
What? Bro, what?
Emotional, damn it, 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 emotional, damn it.
Jesus. Oh my fucking god. I gotta hear that again.
Going upstairs with his ex-girlfriend, she was like going upstairs naked and he was naked following her, but the goober fucking had his camera pointed at the glass on the stairs so you could see his wiener and it barely peeked over his ball sack. Yeah, he's got Nerf dart wiener. Yeah. I know we're like 4 minutes into this video and I still haven't gotten to the...
That's not even a Nerf dart, that's a thumbtack.
Charges, but that's because when you talk about Wesley Watson, it is irresistible to just talk about everything Wes Watson related because all of it is... It's unfathomably pathetic. Like, it is just... You can't help but just vomit out all the Wes lore. He is just that much of a clown. Truly irresistible. The only thing more irresistible is good hygiene. All of you should be practicing good hygiene, so make sure when you take a shower you're using Cheeky soap. It's the best soap in the universe. Go to usecheeky.com right now. Get yourself some of the best soap out there.
A woman, the same one that he proposed to just the other day. He beat her down. He held her captive. So you guys remember just the other day, I showed you Peggy putting a ring on this girl like an asshole, only knowing the girl for only a month, right?
If he's proposing to you after that short a time frame, red flag, GTFO. Because nothing good can come of it.
Well, that same girl that he got down on his knees and put the ring on is the same girl just a couple days later. Maybe the one to put Peggy in prison for a really long time when I tell you this story.
Yeah, it's not an exaggeration either. The new information here is extremely heavy. What he's done is completely unforgivable, and hopefully justice will prevail. I think this should be a life sentence for Wes Watson. We're going to dive in here. John Bravo went through the specifics of the case. There are 5 felony charges that he is now facing in addition to everything that is still ongoing from the assault, and they are horrifying.
Peggy Watson, that woman beating piece of shit, was charged with 5 felonies in the state of Florida for beating the shit out of a girl like the coward we all know he is. And the next day...
I mean, that goes without saying. He couldn't fight a man one-on-one at the gym, so he had to get all of his... He had to get all of his salad tossers to join in with him.
He was in court thinking he's going to get out on bail $115,000, right? Well, what happened was, the piece of shit, I think he paid it, thinking he's going to get out. But then, the judge from the other case with the monster revoked his bail, so I'm hoping that asshole wasted his money and he's still sitting there.
Now, I know I talk about Wes Watson like he's some harmless bozo loser, and he is a bozo loser, but he's far from harmless, actually. He is genuinely just an evil piece of shit. He is a woman beater. He is just an unhinged lunatic. So, John Bravo is covering the Wes Watson case, the ongoing charges right now. So, he's reporting that Wes Watson maybe tried to pay the $115K to get out on bail.
There's a line in Power Rangers Turbo in a pizza-themed episode where the Red Ranger says, "We're going to toss your salad. It didn't age well." I think I remember you telling me that recently. As one of those lines where it sounds cool in your head, but then you say it out loud and you're like, dude, wait, what? In an Adult Swim show, it would take on a whole different meaning. Sadly, is real. I actually believe that.
But the judge from the previous case with the assault came in and revoked the bail. So there's a chance he is still just sitting in jail at the moment, which would definitely be for the best.
The defendant confronted her about her whereabouts, as she had not disclosed. She had gone to the game with her friend. The defendant, which is Peggy, began yelling at the victim, explaining he paid for her boob job, that she was disrespectful for having her boobs out, and that those are my boobs, also accusing her of cheating on him.
So this is where it all started in this new case. A woman that he's been seeing went to a basketball game without Wes's permission. He didn't know she was going to a basketball game with her friend, and she wore a top that showed too much cleavage for Wes Watson's liking. So he then blew a gasket, had a fucking conniption saying, like, I paid for those boobs. Apparently he had, like, paid for her to get a boob job.
Apparently saying to watch it on Tubi is offensive. Hey, YouTube! Hey, to the YouTube AI that can't discern context, maybe learn it. AI can be programmed to learn everything else. Maybe learn the meaning of fucking context. And stop being so fucking hypersensitive.
He's like, those are my boobs. You're showing my melons. Those are my honkers. This is disrespectful. So he starts fucking freaking out and going ballistic about it. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Wes Watson, this is actually a very common thing. This is his mentality. The women around him, he tries to literally buy them. So he gets them expensive gifts, and when he does that, he believes it's a transactional exchange, and now he tries to claim ownership of the women. He is a genuine piece of shit. He buys them things and then says that they're his property now, basically.
I have no respect whatsoever for any guy who thinks that way. Ladies, if he's just showering you in gifts, that sounds like trafficking. It does. It really does sound like trafficking. Red flag, red flag, red flag, GTFO. Because he's trying to buy his way into your heart. That is not love. That is, like Kaysen just said, that is trafficking.
Woman is. It's scary.
The defendant began to rattle and shake her by grabbing both of her arms forcefully. He continued to push, grab her by her hair, and slam her on the floor. The defendant then dragged the victim by her hair on the floor and later pinned her up against the kitchen table. He pushed and grabbed, manhandling the victim's face, causing a scratch to the victim's right cheek. The victim stated the defendant forcefully pinned her back against the table, causing her back to bend and hurt. The defendant began yelling at the victim, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you and your whole family. He continued to push the victim back down on the floor with force, picked her back up, and forcefully against her will sat the victim down in a chair. While holding a plate, the defendant threatened to break the plate on top of her head, told her he would grab a bottle and slash it across her face, break it on her head, and then told her he would kick her face in.
I'm skipping around a little bit here because it is pretty hard to listen to. It is disturbing. The violence is brutal. And it's not the first time Wes has had allegations like this.
The third witness was the defendant's security guard, who told the victim to take accountability for her actions.
Shame on all three witnesses for standing there and not doing anything. Because I'm going to tell you straight up right now, I see you behaving like that. I see you, if I'm in your presence and I see you treating your woman like that, what happens, happens.
Of wearing a shirt which exposed her breasts. So this asshole security guard is sitting there and telling her she shouldn't be going out to a bath.
And I don't care if I get fucked up in the process, and I don't care if I get arrested in the process. It should be every man who sees that happen, who is in the presence of that happening, has a moral obligation to stand up for the victim. at their own at his own personal expense, physically and legally. It's there's no ambiguity to it. Either you stand up for that woman and you do the right thing and you take that he-bitch down, or die trying, or you are an accomplice and you deserve to go to jail along with him. Kind of like how news outlets covering the girl who got arrested for driving her car through a crowd purposefully leave out the detail they were surrounding and threatening her. Well, news media is just a bunch of spineless weasels anyway, so. But yeah, shame on the men who were in the presence of Wes Watson while he was doing that and did nothing to stop it. You all three of you deserve to go to prison right along with him.
Basketball game showing her tits? What kind of world is this? When I have a girl and I'm with her, I want her to look as sexy as she can, so people look at me and be like, that's a lucky mother. What's wrong with these assholes?
Wes Watson is a pile of dog shit that surrounds itself with flies. Everyone that associates with this guy and everyone he keeps in his circle is just as much of a scumbag as he is. So the security guard is now blaming her for Wes Watson brutalizing her. He's saying, well, you should have thought about what you were wearing to that basketball game. You brought this on yourself. What a fucking deplorable freak. This security guard here, by the way.
There's a few words I have for this security guard, and I'm pretty sure that uttering them on the stream would net me a community guideline strike. So, I'll leave it up to your imagination.
How many times do you think he showed Wes Watson his asshole? Maybe that's part of the initiation process, and he feels like a strong brotherhood connection to Wes, that he has to suck his small cock at every opportunity. Like, it's unbelievable to me how anyone could witness what happened here. There are witnesses, he is one of them, and then say, like, well, Wes was in the right. You did wear clothing that Wes didn't really deem appropriate. So, did you think about how this is actually on you?
The defendant did not allow the victim to utilize her cell phone or to call anyone. The victim was forced by the defendant to tell her cousin she got the scratch on her cheek from derma peeling. Further, the defendant told her if the police were to have arrived at the residence, she needed to tell police she slipped on the rug at the residence. Throughout the altercation, the victim stated the defendant held her hostage and would not let her leave. The victim tried to leave the residence, but the defendant feared she would contact police, and due to being on parole, he could not allow it. The defendant continued to...
Due to being on parole, you could not allow it. Maybe you shouldn't behave in a way that puts you in danger of being taken off parole. Maybe you shouldn't behave in a way that leaves you in a state where you're concerned about the police showing up. Maybe you shouldn't fucking assault a woman that you claim to love. Moderate these nuts. Maybe that, Wes. Maybe don't be a piece of shit. Maybe don't be an insecure weasel who beats on who beats on young women because he's an insecure piece of shit. Maybe try that. Ian Watkins' treatment with extreme prejudice.
Verbally abuse and yell at her. The defendant further stated, if I go to jail, something bad is going to happen to you, all your friends, and your family. The defendant further implied he would have girls jump the victim in order to ruin her reputation. The defendant further told the security guard, make sure she doesn't run, and had him stand by the door in an effort to keep the victim from leaving the residence.
This is called false imprisonment. This is another charge that he's facing as a result of this. As mentioned by John Bravo at the beginning, he is facing 5 new charges. These are very serious charges, and as you're hearing from this case here, extremely brutal ones. This is an absolute menace. Like, this is someone who should not be back into society at any point. Again, all of this is while he still has that assault case that's going on, which, in case you don't remember, was also extremely brutal. He ran over and soccer kicked a man who was already on his hands and knees hunched over. That could have killed him. And I believe his intent was to kill him right then and there. I bet he thought he was going to go over there with like a Mortal Kombat fatality, like he's kicking a fucking field goal on this guy's skull. Luckily, the guy didn't die, but I think it's pretty clear that Wes Watson has no problem with the idea of killing someone. And now he is beating this woman and threatening to kill her, and is now even having his security guard make sure she stays locked up here so that way she can't contact anyone. So that way he doesn't get in trouble while on parole. This is a complete madman who is out of control.
So that asshole security guard
reminds me of what you said in that role-playing chat room video about unable to keep a girlfriend and only does because of manipulation. Bro! That is... You notice the girl in the video that John Bravo showed that Wes Watson proposed to after only a month, after only knowing her for a month. You notice how substantially younger she was compared to him, right? Wes Watson is in his like late 30s, early 40s. She looked like she was about 20.
and Jose both took part in this shit. They should be getting charged too, those pieces of shit.
I completely agree. They should also be facing some charges, and I hope they're in the process of cooking that up. They're not just complicit in it. From what I'm gathering here, they were enthusiastic participants in all of this. Again, the security guard is even blaming the woman here for everything that's unfolding, so I bet that vile rat was jumping up and down celebrating when Wes gave him the task of making sure she stays locked up in there. I bet he was just sitting up there, giddy, just waiting for Wes to get home to give him a little kiss on the forehead, a little peck right there. A little good boy from Wes and a pat on his tush. Like these guys should also be facing charges.
While the victim was seated in a chair, he lifted the chair with such force, he dropped the victim on the floor. The incident of physical abuse lasted approximately 40 minutes, but led into the following day. 2 days of this hell? During this time, the victim was scared and afraid of the defendant. She believed he was capable of killing her, and then as he said such to her. The victim stated the defendant does have firearms in the residence, but was unsure how many.
A convicted felon with firearms in his house. I'll let that speak for itself. Because you know he didn't obtain those legally.
And then they show here, wow, so it's listing all the different injuries she had. And like I said, I seen the ones on her face, but I didn't see all this shit. This mother, he's a monster. Look at this shit.
Wes Watson is a monster. He always has been. And yes, I make fun of him a lot, and I clown on him a lot. I call him the Gadoosh God because this guy was a dick.
Kason, are you asking that question to Wes, or are you asking that question to your dog?
Did to reading every single DM anyone ever sent.
Wes, well, I mean, considering he more than likely was mainlining steroids to get that jacked hyper my dog already knows, oof, to get that jacked alpha male physique, I mean, do you know that prolonged use of anabolic steroids, especially TRT, trenbolone, can actually lead to permanent brain damage? Yeah, all you guys who are thinking about getting juiced, not only does that shit give you a not only is it just not good for your reproductive system, it actually causes permanent brain damage. So Kaysen, he may very well be retarded. Throw those deals away then. Yeah, you probably should.
Sent him. He would get trolled all the time. The word gadoosh comes from a comment on Reddit that he was like really honing in on, saying like, they say I'm getting gadooshed. Ha! Me? Gadooshed? I think not. Like, I make fun of him for all of these things because it is like entertainingly embarrassing.
Or he deals with a retard. She definitely doesn't want a super retard. I mean, a super retard would be Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, but...
for this guy, but it is important to remember he is genuinely an evil worm, and he deserves to be in jail. He has done heinous shit. He beats women. He attacks anyone. He is unhinged, and he needs to be in jail. It lists numerous injuries that she suffered at the hands of Wes Watson's abuse. He beat her violently and then trapped her. He didn't want anyone to see any of her bruises or her cuts or anything, so then falsely imprisoned her in the residence and didn't allow her to contact anyone. There's also a section in here about how he would actually even impersonate her on her devices, saying like, oh, I'm okay, I'm just going to sleep, that kind of thing. It's genuinely evil. Like, this is someone that needs to be facing life in jail. 100%. So I wanted to give you the little Wes Watson update here. It is a very serious case, and I truly hope this is the last time Wes will be out in free society. He needs to be in the slammer. Anyway, that's really about it. Great coverage from John. Bravo on this whole case here. And yeah, that's it. That's about it. See ya.
Oh. Stop using my head as a launching pad. Your dog is something else, Kaysen. Alright, well, I'm really, really, really starting to feel it. So, like I said before, I guess this is going to be the video where we cap it off for the night. But Kaysen and I will be back on a movie discussion stream tomorrow, and as he said earlier, in honor of Chuck Norris's passing, as a tribute to Chuck Norris, we will be covering my favorite Chuck Norris movie of all time, that being his 1986 classic, The Delta Force. One of the purest distillations of Cannon Films cheese. Just one of those happy little accidents, Kaysen. That I happen to say it just as you sent it. Yeah, so we're going to be covering the Delta Force tomorrow, and it's a ride. It is a ride. It is 90s or 80s. It is 80s perfection. Let's see. As long as the salute emoji pops up on your end, which it did. I did see the salute emoji. This is I'm still kind of processing. I mean, I get that. I get that eventually it was going to happen because he was pretty up there in age. He literally just turned 86 years old. But I mean, that man was an entire generation of tough guys, and And he's sparring with Bruce in the afterlife. He is. He really is. And I'm starting to get fucking emotional thinking about it. I'm gonna cap it off here before I start really going off. But yeah, tomorrow we are on for movie discussions. Delta Force. We'll catch you later.